Hold on. Let me take a sip.
All right. We're trying something new.
We are trying something new. I'm trying not to think about it.
Whatever. Hopefully it's recording. We don't have to redo this. Hey. You can see us. Guess what I have just specially for you since we're actually on video? I've got my lemonade-o, but your favorite thing.
I'm going to kill you. You are starting our episode with this.
Ha ha! Welcome to Monday. It's Monday.
It's first visual episode, and you're
crocking it up.
I can't.
Just crocking it up.
No. Mm-mm.
Well, you put eyebrows on, and I never have eyebrows on.
Yeah, I did because I knew we were going to put the camera on, and I was like, it's 5 a.m., but if I don't do something.
You're good.
I'm sure there will be days where I'll be less than put together. I can't wait for like my hungover days to be on video. That'll be my favorite.
Yeah, that's when you'll get over it, though. Then you're going to just be like, oh, okay.
Those will be the days where I'm like, don't post that on YouTube.
Right. We're definitely going to post those days on YouTube. But extra.
Did you notice we woke up today and it was winter?
Yeah, it was pretty cold. Actually, I let the cat out and he came right back in. He was like, no, thank you. Normally he'd peace out and be gone for, a little bit. But today he was like, no. The sunrise was nice, though. It's nice to feel like you're supposed to be up in the morning.
Was it not like 75 degrees the other day?
Yeah.
Then yesterday it just poured. And then today it was like, oh, no, now it's winter.
Yep.
If you don't wear your wool and your little beanie.
Then that's it. Winter's
wrong.
here. Sorry. Tori said you're wrong.
Welcome to New England. And we decided, go.
How was your weekend?
Super boring. It worked. That's all.
I just convalesced. I was sick. Saturday morning, I woke up and you knew like how disgusting I was. I was like Typhoid Mary on Friday.
The amount of cutting we did from that episode.
So much editing in that episode. It was not cute. However, I just finally, Saturday morning, I woke up and I was like, that's blood. Go into the ER.
Okay. Do we need all the details?
I just felt as if I needed to go to the doctor. And I had, shout out to Convenient MD, by the way.
I support that you needed to go to the doctor. I just don't necessarily support that we're getting all of the details.
Well, that was not all of the details.
For all listener. Okay.
But I love the fact that Convenient MD had me in and out in like 30 minutes with all of the drugs. I was like, thank you very much.
That's awesome.
Like, here you go. My daughter was shocked. So much so that I was like, now I have time to take you for a drive.
A drive? What do you mean a drive?
1 star out of 5. Do not recommend.
Oh, teenage driving, learning. That's what you're talking about.
First time she's on the road. Apparently, Dad has not taken her on the road.
Did you take the meds first and then decide this was a good idea? Okay.
Of course, yeah.
Just to clear.
Yeah. I'm fine. Let's do this. So we were doing, like donuts around the beach parking lot and Hatter Park and then work on a few like tan signal things.
It's so funny. That's what my dad did with me. He was like, all right, get behind the wheel. And I was like, what? And mind you, I got my license really late, so I was like 20. So I like had a more understanding of how much of a fear this was. I got mine too late
because I had no rush to get it because I had friends that drove.
Same. Well,
that's expensive.
I was traveling, right?
And I'm busy. Yeah, you were doing grown-up things.
Doing weird things. But anyway.
Smoking a lot of pot. I had no reason to drive.
We were doing very different things.
Yes, very.
Yeah, but it's that like classic Cape Cod native thing. You just, where else are you going to go? You're going to drive around a beach parking lot in the off season, and then suddenly you're on 28 trying to survive.
Right.
And that's it. Those are your options.
It's pretty fantastic.
So how'd she do? Not great?
She did all right. And I let her on the road. I'm like, you know what? It's kind of quiet down here. Let's go. So we drove from Falmouth Heights. We drove over a bridge.
Wow.
I know. She took a left-hand turn.
Was she screaming?
She wasn't. She was very nervous. She did have an asshole guy like right on her ass, which I was like, I put her hazards on like 3 times because I was like, clearly she doesn't know how to maintain 30 miles an hour. She was driving like an old lady, like speed up to like take it off. I'm like, no, you have to maintain the speed and stay within the lines. Those are the 2 rules. So we definitely worked on that. When we got to before a busy intersection where I was like pulling to this parking lot, and then she just kind of sort of pulled over and then like Dukes a hazard over like the side of a pylon sort of thing.
My
but
God.
Other than that, it was really a successful first run, I feel like.
I hate when people do that. I just feel like when I'm behind somebody that's clearly struggling, my first thought is either, especially on the Cape Cod.
Especially on a Saturday when you see it's a young driver, you know what's happening in the car.
I'm either thinking you're an old person who should have had their license taken away, but in the state of Massachusetts, it's hard to do. Right. So you're still driving.
You're drunk.
Maybe not like 10 a.m. on a Saturday. Well,
you're still drunk. Because I was like, either they're going to think we're still drunk or clearly like they're going to know you're
just
a young driver.
Have a little empathy, people.
I know. Yeah. And they did not.
And what's the worst thing that's going to happen? It's a fucking Saturday morning.
Oh, you're going to be one more minute late? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I just tried it. My dad was always like, just ignore them. That's their problem, not yours.
It's so hard to do.
If they're in a rush, they can go in a different direction. It's not your problem.
It's so true. Like, so that was it. It was me just managing her stress while hoping she doesn't murder us. So really, I mean, I'm glad I took the drugs.
But you've done this before. You have kids. This is not your first rodeo.
I'm not the one. I am not the one with the patience, and I am not the one with like, that's okay. You're doing great. It's all good. No. So I'm on prednisone. So Sunday morning I wake up and I'm psycho. I'm like, all right, let's go. We're cleaning. I was lifting couches. I cleaned out my whole closet. Like I was psychotic. I don't know. I got on the Peloton.
Was that yesterday?
Yes.
Okay, there was actually something in the air. So we were sitting on, this is a dorky work moment. We were sitting on probably 25 to 30 boxes. And when I say boxes, I mean like they're the size of me. They weigh 50 pounds and they probably have 100 units in them. Mm-hmm. Probably sitting on somewhere around 3,000 units of just unorganized product in the back, just sitting in the box. Like, you'll get to it and you'll sell it eventually, right? And I'm like, if I can open the fucking box, maybe.
Yeah.
I stood in my back room and I organized and opened every single piece of product. Like, open the box, open every t-shirt, get it out of the plastic, put it in the pile, decide what can go on the floor, decide what can't go on the floor, decide what has to get back stock.
And then getting rid of those fucking boxes. I had a box fit yesterday because I'm so sick of them everywhere.
My back room is filled, but at least they're empty boxes and I know what the product is. But my staff was like, are you going through something? I just stood in my back room and just like opened and opened.
Yeah. All right. So there was a little bit of rage clean in the air yesterday.
Got into Christmas elf mode and I was like, we're here.
Let's bang it out.
We're doing it. It is what it is. Oh, I also actually did something else this weekend.
Oh? Was it a date?
No.
Oh.
You knew this was coming though, so this isn't news. But I booked my flights.
Oh, yeah.
So
nothing like we're sitting here having a planning meeting on Friday's calendar. I just put back on the wall and going through the calendar, picking these dates.
And then I immediately got home and was like, I'm going to blow it up.
I tell half the staff, this is the day of like the party. This is what we're doing. This is what, look at me. I'm accomplished. Actually, I'm flying in that night. So can we move it to a different day?
Totally. Yeah. I'm making the entire company move their Christmas
Tori.
party. Or we're moving our Christmas party because I am a princess.
Last minute pants. Like, I know we just planned all of that on Friday, but by Sunday, I've changed all of my mind and I've made some plans.
At no cost, though. You didn't necessarily have to move the Christmas party in any capacity.
Obviously, I am.
My favorite part was that it was Ace getting involved because Ace, I was asking him like, oh, what about this? Here's something I want to do. Because he lived out
everywhere.
there.
Yeah, he lived in Europe for 8 years.
So I was like, all right, where do you think I should stay? Like, let's, other than buying flights, I didn't do anything else. And he was like, oh, when do you go? And I was like, oh, literally 2.5 weeks, naturally. And he was like, wait, when do you fly back? And I was like, oh, I fly back, I think the 11th. And he goes, but that's the Christmas party. And I was like, oh, shit, you're right. And he goes, that sucks, you're going to miss it. And I was like, I'm not going to miss it. We're going to move it.
We're moving that shit. Let's go.
I just sent him back
even though she was part of the planning.
A crown emoji and like a princess emoji.
Oh my God.
And I was like, Ace, who do you think I am? The world revolves around me.
But the best part was you were part of the planning committee that set the fucking date.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, Tori.
Listen, my life just revolves around my retail schedule. So
I know. I totally understand that. We aim to please around here. You're amenable to my rando whims of I'm going to be gone for a week and a half. Bye.
Yeah, I know.
So that's fine. It's okay. Like today, I have jury duty. Can you be at my house at dark 30? Yep. Okay.
You got
and you're
it.
there. You did it.
Well, I was 15 minutes late per usual, but I'm here.
That's fine. Exactly. We're here. We're functioning. We're getting it done. We're doing our first video episode. So I feel like we're checking a lot of boxes. Okay.
We're checking a lot.
We've emptied the boxes. Now we're checking the boxes.
We're doing good.
It's boxing season.
So that being said, we'll have to replan our entire winter because
we'll figure it the freak out. Like, what the fuck?
Thank you for moving. Thank you for moving the Christmas party.
Absolutely.
And revolving everything around me. Oh, am I surprised? No. But I still appreciate it. Sorry, Ace.
I love it. All right. So do we want to do our weekly horoscopes?
Yeah, we
Maybe you get a little insight as to why you are the way you are this week. It's always good to know, I feel.
They're so accurate every week. It's crazy.
Well, you had one that just like totally knocked it out of the park, and we talked about that on Friday. So if you haven't gotten to that episode, go back. Go back. You're just joining us.
You can see real evidence on our reel, too.
Real-time evidence. That's awesome. All right. So our weekly horoscopes. Aries, your day of the week is going to be Monday today. Arguing will not help you. You have to know what your boss wants if you expect to do your job correctly.
Ooh, can I send that to my employees?
Absolutely. Taurus, your lucky day is going to be Friday. Don't forget to read the fine print. Gemini, Sunday is your lucky day. Try to enlist the support of your coworkers first. Cancer, your day is Tuesday. Difficulties may be encountered when traveling into foreign countries.
Who's a Cancer? Dad's a Cancer? No.
No, my oldest daughter that doesn't talk to us. So.
Oh. Okay.
That makes sense. Leo, Saturday is your best day. Children's needs could be more costly than you anticipated. Virgo is what dad is.
What if you're single and you don't have kids? Children's needs could be more costly.
Dream a little this week.
Okay.
Dream a little this week.
I'm just trying to find something for everybody.
Absolutely.
You know?
Virgo, your best day is going to be Friday. You should get out and meet some of those clients that you only speak to on the phone. Libra, 2 stars. Spend a little time getting physical, either doing physical activities. It says with your lover.
That sounds. I was going to be like that.
Take a walk.
Everything about that is dirty.
Take a walk with your partner. Scorpio, 2 stars. Be careful signing.
Why are we? We don't need to brush that under the rug. It's our podcast.
I know.
Get down and dirty. What days? Was the lucky day Wednesday?
Libra, Tuesday.
Oh, that's a bummer. It's not hump day.
Sorry. To say romance is likely if you participate in unusual forms of entertainment. Scorpio.
Wow.
I know, right?
It's going to be a hot week.
I guess. Scorpio.
I'm nervous now.
2 stars. Be careful signing important contracts this week. Sagittarius, Tuesday. Put financial speculation with family members or friends on the back burner for now. You're going to be erratic and quite likely to make personal mistakes. So as long as you know that, you won't do it. Capricorn, Thursday.
Theory.
Yeah, right? This is what we hope for. Thursday is going to be your best day. You should put some extra hours developing that creative idea that you have. Aquarius, Saturday is going to be your day. Offer love and affection instead of conflict and rejection. I feel like that should be you every day. Finally, Pisces, Sunday is going to be your best day of the week, and your financial situation may be draining, and it's time to make some serious changes.
That is not great. That is not a good horoscope with the amount of money I am spending.
Well, it says it's time to make some serious changes. Also says romantic opportunities may not be as they appear. Shocker.
Romantic opportunities may not be as they appear. So nobody on the roster, maybe somebody new? No.
I don't know. Or maybe somebody on the roster,
or nobody
find out information.
Or nobody on the roster.
Yeah.
Well, we knew that. That's why they're a roster, not a permanent player.
Ooh. Look at her. It's a perfect segue right into what's roasting now.
I just feel like apparently we need to issue a correction because Nick Cannon revealed that $3 million in child support was a low estimate.
Oh.
So, I did my math wrong. $200,000. I went back and listened to it and I was like, you're an idiot. $200,000 per kid with 10 kids going to college. Let's just assume.
Now he's got 11, though. The 11th was just
I know,
born.
but we can just assume that probably not all of them are going to make it to college.
So many kids.
Right? Like, they don't have to. But let's say $200,000 per college education, and there's 10 kids that go. Then that's 200, right? No, why can't I do math? 2 million. That's 2 million in college education. Is that right?
I don't know how much money the man is paying, but
I just tried to issue a correction and did my math wrong again.
It's okay. Just know that you were wrong. And then he says that's a low estimate of what he pays to take care of his family. And that's kind of being vague about what you mean by taking care of your family.
I was right. It was 2 million. It's 2 million. So last episode I said 1.2. I was wrong. It's 2 million.
And Abby De La Rosa gave birth to a baby girl. Her name is Zeppelin Cannon.
That's kind of
Nick Cannon's 11.
Zeppelin is kind of cute.
I think it's kind of cute.
Although
for
it kind
of
reminds me of Zeppoli, like the little Italian fried dough thingies.
Oh, those are good.
They are good, but do you know what I mean? Zeppeli.
Well, your dad is Nick Cannon. You got a lot of other issues before we start making fun of you and being a pastry. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm like, you got a lot of bridges to cross before you get teased as a kid.
Can we call her Z or something?
I mean, there are so many cute things, but I think that it's really, yeah.
Lynn. Okay, it's cute. I'm kind of into it.
I like
All
Zeppelin.
right, at least their names don't suck.
Well, you get better after you've named 11. So
you get into the practice of it.
You're like, wow, this seems like it's going to be good. Lots of nicknames there. It's going to be fun.
I still don't understand how he has enough money to do this.
I don't think it's enough money. It's just, I think that he's got a cult. I sent you that meme over the weekend.
Oh my God.
And it was just, all of Nick Cannon photos, just with different hairdos and different eye colors. It just made me laugh.
We should post that.
It was like National Geographic says in 2050, this is what the world's going to look like. Beautiful. And it was just all Nick Cannon with
a good old
like he had gone to glamour shots and was like, oh, that hair.
Well, then you think about it's got to be a fetish, right? Because then his kids will have kids and his genes are just going to how are you that confident in your gene pool, in your ancestry that you want to do this to society?
I was just thinking, obviously, the man's potent, right? So maybe there is some sort of situation where you're like, you need to go to in vitro? No problem. Nick Cannon will take care of that for you.
I think he's in the book.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? And I the figurative folder.
The choices as you're going through oh, this is a great dad to have. I mean, at least he's putting it out
talents.
There. Hosting TV shows and knocking girls up. He seems like a winner. Let's take that.
There's just no way. I've never seen a single episode of The Masked Singer. There's no way that.
Well, there's that. There's Wild and Out. There's Wild and Out. He's got a couple of other
I don't
shows.
think I've ever actually seen quote unquote work by Nick Cannon.
And he used to fill in for what's her face, the one that used to always have a meltdown on TV that is now retired. I can't remember.
That sounds very specific in the world of Hollywood.
Oh yeah, she if I said her name, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. Why can I not remember her name? Now I got to look it up. It's going to be one of those
All right,
things.
well, in the meantime, we'll talk about a couple of marriages. Taylor Lautner married another Taylor.
I knew that was coming.
Taylor squared. No, we knew it was coming. But in general, they got married
Could you marry somebody with your same name? I don't think I could. And it's not the first Taylor he's dated either.
That is so true. All right, so,
He's got something weird.
Yeah,
right?
fetishes going on in the world. And then Tiffany Trump got married. Do you know who her man is?
Her dress looked beautiful, though.
Yes, and it was by Elie Saab. Of course, I know all the details.
Okay.
It was by Elie Saab and was a nod to his heritage. He's got a Middle Eastern heritage, and Elie Saab is a Israeli designer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
it was just a beautiful dress.
It was gorgeous. I didn't really quite understand long sleeves in Florida, but because she got married at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
And I was dying at the quote of why they got married at Mar-a-Lago.
Why?
Because it was her, quote, childhood home.
Okay.
That's where she grew up and spent all of her time. I was like, yeah, of course it is.
Right. So I don't think that's a big deal, right?
Well, just for that to be where you grew up.
I mean, well, obviously. It's
just the disparity of wealth. That's all I'm thinking.
And then the other Trump one. What's the other one?
Oh, Sugar.
Sister, Ivana.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Well, she was like, I saw the quote because it's
was
floating around.
Beautiful.
I know, it's really cute. The family photos. I was like, ugh, of course. However, she was like, Tiffany fulfilled my dream come true of having a baby sister
Yeah,
when I was 12 and I held her. I'm like, really? I don't think I ever wanted a baby sister.
Older
I couldn't
sister
stand my baby sister.
Say that. Jen, please write in and tell us your thoughts on what you were thinking when I was born. Here we go again. Why are we doing
this? I guess she's fine.
I have to deal with her now. What was the? I wonder what her thoughts were. Did you get an answer?
No, I'm still. I can't. I'm blocked.
Donald.
Yes.
Walked her down the aisle. Obviously, he didn't look that bad though. He looked very dad-like.
Yeah.
A little less orange than usual.
That must have been in the rider of the wedding. And Dad, lay off the self-tanners.
Yeah, right.
Just show up and
Don't
focus.
show up in all that self-tanner and then touch my white dress.
Right. Thank you.
And then there was a couple of fun things. They shared that the couple's cake was modeled after a 7-foot tall wedding cake that her and her mom's had. Sorry, her mom's her. And
Wendy Williams. I'm sorry. I'm like, my brain was dead. My brain died. Literally, it's Monday.
Yeah,
so give me
she
a
is
little.
always having a meltdown.
Well, she doesn't have a show anymore.
Yeah.
So there's that. Just like Donald
Anyway,
doesn't have a show anymore
7
either.
foot tall.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank God for that.
That's over now. The elections are over.
We're not getting into politics.
Oh, next.
We're moving on.
It's over.
But something about the 7 foot tall wedding cake that was modeled after his and her mom's wedding cake
Yeah,
in
pretty
1993. But then they were divorced 6 years later. But it doesn't matter. They had a nice cake.
I love that. Yummy cake. I haven't had cake in a long time.
So we're not going to talk about politics. We are going to talk about it a little bit.
All right. What are we talking about?
Well, just the Elon Musk of it all.
Are we naming this episode Serial Impregnators?
Why do we always
They're our
talk
favorite
about them?
people. I don't know.
We literally always
they
talk about
give
them.
so much to us.
Yeah, they do.
We must discuss.
But he went back and forth with Ed Markey.
Well, first off, let's start with the fact that he said to the remaining Twitter employees that now work there, that still work there, there's no more remote work. And if you want to work here, you have 40 hours a week and you need to start liking work.
Okay, so I don't necessarily disagree with that sentiment, but and especially because he's like, I'm going to cut jobs anyway, so I might as well start here.
Yeah, that makes it an easy
and you knew
process.
it was coming.
Yeah.
You had plenty, you knew he was coming in. For months, you knew this was how he felt about remote work.
Yeah.
You had the opportunity to get a new job. Now, mind you, that sucks in a recession. But I don't know, I just felt like you knew it was coming.
Oh, everyone knew it was coming.
Yeah.
So now he's having Twitter wars with Ed Markey. First off, Ed Markey looks like a dead president. I forgot he was still in office in Massachusetts. I apologize. Yeah. But he's like old. Well, they had to fight with an old man.
Well, yeah, Ed Markey was kind of right, though. So remember we were talking about, I was talking with you last episode about you can buy the verified checks and it's causing all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
Right? So Ed Markey tweeted, or somebody for him, let's say, tweeted, a Washington Post reporter was able to create a verified account impersonating me. I am asking for answers from at Elon Musk, who is putting profits over people in his debt overstopping disinformation. Twitter must explain how this happened and how to prevent it from happening again. And Elon Musk replied, perhaps it's because your real account sounds like a parody, ?
Oh, that's bad.
Yes. Yep.
And then, now that's getting political.
Yes. So then he responded and said, one of your companies is under an FTC consent decree. Auto safety watchdog NHTSA is investigating another for killing people, and you're spending your time picking fights online. Fix your companies or Congress will. Ooh.
All right, then. Them's fighting words, Ed Markey.
Yep.
I mean, you're a peon compared to Elon.
And then there was a lot of people that responded and just said, I'm just spitballing here, but it might not be a good idea to mock a senator with direct oversight to your companies. Because I think Ed Markey's, is his subcommittees or whatever he, particularly works on is, media, communication, broadband, consumer protection.
Elon's
I think
of
that's,
the ilk where
data security
really touches him, though. I mean, he can
or he thinks nothing touches him.
Well, he can chop shop this company and then sell it, and then it no longer affects him at all. He can do whatever he wants with it.
I guess. I just don't know if I would poke the bear of the U.S. government, especially because you and I have had conversations about at what point are we going to talk about more government control over these huge platforms? Because there needs to be. I mean, at this point, it's just becoming a monopoly of information. But
I don't know. I have such mixed feelings about that because I just feel like you should be able to say what you want to say.
I know, but the problem is that the algorithms aren't allowing people to say what they want to say.
Yeah,
that's the issue.
Very true.
That there's almost not enough regulation for the free speech, and the algorithms and the way that the companies are set up to give you information is literally just pumping
the
false
way
information.
we're catching it for
and
sure.
And now you can buy verified checks. That makes no sense.
We don't like it.
Anyway.
Stinks.
We're not talking about that. Anyway, I just thought that was a little interesting Elon Musk point of view. So he's got so much of an ego and a big of head that he's literally going after the government, which I'm like, ooh, this will be interesting to see.
I'm just here for the ride. We're here to watch. Like Alec Baldwin, who is suing the Rust crew. Yeah, suing the Rust crew for negligence because he feels like he has to clear his name.
Yeah, but I would too.
I think so too.
I would too. You're telling me I was handed a gun. The gun I was told that it was cold. I did my job. I got into the scene. I did my thing. And I accidentally killed somebody, which now I not only have to emotionally deal with, but now my career and,
also a serial impregnator. How many kids does he have now?
I was going to say, and has a questionable wife. But either way.
Men.
I don't, I would do the same thing. I mean, like, it's not my fault. Yeah, like, it's not my fault. And I have to walk around with all this bad
I'm surprised that it's taken him this long to start this situation.
I think it's better that he did wait this long because he really had to go through the mourning process, or at least attempt to appear to be.
Yeah, I guess. I just saw that Chris Rock is having his first ever Netflix special live. Doesn't that, and you and I both talked about it off the air, it seems not right.
I think about like how many Netflix specials, like Liza Schlesinger, that's quite a name, she has like 4, and she's great, but she's like nowhere remotely near the fame and notoriety of Chris Rock.
Well, I think Chris Rock Netflix itself has never done a live special.
Oh, live special.
Live special.
Does he have any other regular specials?
So I'm sure he's got other specials out there. He's got to have tons. I've seen his tambourine one, so I know that for a fact.
Tambourine.
Yeah. That was the name of the live special.
Oh.
And you got to watch it.
Okay.
It's actually pretty funny.
I'm not like the biggest Chris Rock fan.
Well, I definitely want to hear what he has to say about everything after like Will Smith. He's like,
by the way, that is on Netflix.
Tambourine, right?
And it has 100% reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's good because it's good.
That never happens.
Watch it. You want a good laugh.
Gives like 42% to Cinderella. Like they're notoriously terrible. The best movies of all time have like the worst ratings. Okay. All right,
so
I guess.
Definitely check that out. So it's live, which I'm excited that they're jumping into the new foray and seeing it. And I love that Chris Rock is going to be at the helm of it. And over the weekend, speaking of live, I did watch Saturday Night Live. It was contested because some of the writers wouldn't write for Dave Chapelle because he's got an issue.
I can't keep up with all the comedians.
Well, Dave Chapelle.
Go ahead, tell me what's going on.
The transgender community does not like Dave Chapelle. They feel like he is against them. They feel like he is. The thing about Dave Chapelle is you need to listen to his whole entire spiel to get what he's saying. And you might not like it, but it is well thought out and it is his thoughts. So I'm not mad at the man for what he says.
And is it like comedy? Like
it's what he sees as real life, but he makes a joke out of it. So we didn't know
what comedy is.
Correct. And he is anti-cancel culture, which there needs to come a day where it
that
stops.
Doesn't shock me.
So I love that he opened up the episode just talking about Kanye. And so like I just burst out laughing. He opened up, he's like, I'm going to read a statement. And everyone's like, oh my God. Just because of the controversy all week long, the writers weren't going to write for him. He had to write his own skits.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I denounced anti-Semitism and I stand with all of the Jewish community. He goes, and that, Kanye, is how you buy yourself some time. And then he jumps into his monologue and I was like roaring laughing. So, I mean, it was really good. He was just talking about, some of the things he did and then kind of just touched it all. And at the end of it, he was like, and whoever they are. So I was like, oh God, he's doing it again. He's like so poking the bear since we're talking about it. But then he did a House of Dragons parody, which was like all the old characters from the Chapelle show. It was just a very funny, great episode. And I was like, oh, this is what I missed about Saturday Night Live. So thank you, Dave Chapelle, for making me laugh. It was real. It was funny. And he
not afraid.
Is not afraid to be himself or stand up for himself. And he's like, I'm tired of defending myself. I'm tired talking to you people.
Tired of like having to censor everything so that some random person on the other side of the country isn't offended.
Yeah, he says he's not
different community that isn't relevant to where the show is filmed or who its prime audience is.
And well, that's exactly it. And he's like, I've been to Hollywood. Yeah, there is a very large Jewish community there. Kanye's not wrong there. But then he said something about, and I've been to Ferguson, Missouri. There's a lot of black people there. So I really love his cleverness and how he brings reality. And I mean, he talked about the Orange Man himself. He talked about Trump and how relatable it was because he lives in Ohio to what he said. And his joke was just so on point. He said, never have we ever had somebody. And he's like, I'm a Democrat. But he's like, I was like blown away by this man who was like, yeah, absolutely. We're doing all the stuff that you think we're doing in that house. We're absolutely doing it. Yeah. And that's, and then he's like, and then he went back to work doing all that stuff. And then he just addressed everything from all the stolen documents at Mar-a-Lago to everything. And it was just a really smart monologue. If you watch nothing else, just the monologue itself is worth it.
So it's technically not Friday and technically not a content recommendation, but it is.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
Yes, absolutely.
Do we have anything else?
I don't know.
Any other cleanup stuff?
We had like a jam-packed episode, I feel like. So we're very busy. And I have jury duty, so I must go and complete my...
I have to go back to my stockroom.
What do we have coming up on Wednesday? Weird news, which is always super fun. And hopefully we can get this episode done on video. Let's try and do at least one video episode a week. And try.
Yeah, Monday was rather impressive.
Right? Because I'm not going to be editing this. I'm just leaving it as it is, right?
We didn't talk about that.
No.
We didn't talk about that. Can we like throw a filter on it?
No, well, that's different. No, the clips and stuff will be there. However, all of our episodes will be here for you to listen to. So if we sound a little, I don't know, less on point as I'm digging for where the fuck is Wendy Williams?
I know.
Now you know.
Guys, we're just trying to grow and learn and do something different. And hopefully you grow with us.
Or something.
Oh my God, I felt like an influencer this morning. So
boy.
I got text messages last night. You know, if they come after 9:30, I'm not reading them. I just ignore them. But one of our listeners texted me and said, okay, what do I need to know about Love is Blind? I'm going to get into it. It's the first reality show that I've watched since college. And I woke up this morning and I was like, that's it. I'm an influencer. That's it. I got one person to watch some really bad Netflix show.
Got one.
I'm done. That's it. Career made. So we love you, listeners.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Get perky with us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The First Shot Morning Show.
The First Shot Morning Show is produced by Lemonadio. When life gives you lemons, make radio. We encourage everyone to listen happier.com.